Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tasha. Thank you very much for tuning in. And what you see here is a finished Resin 3D print. It's actually a propeller for a drone or quadcopter. Now, in this short video, I'm going to show and tell you how to get from the point that your printer finishes the job to an actual finished product, an item. So there'll be some cleaning involved in resin printing. There'll be some curing, hardening of the object involved. And it's not intricate, it's not difficult at all. But again, in this video I'm going to show you what's involved, what things you need for it and how to do it. So let's get started. Here we go.
Serious?
This here is my Equipent Mars 3 Pro 4K resin printer, and it has just finished a printing job. It has printed, or at least attempted, to print a propeller. And to be completely honest, I don't think printers like this are ideal to be printing drone quadcopter propellers, but I've given it a try, and it doesn't really matter for this video. Again, in this video I'm going to show you what you need to do after the printer has finished its printing to, well, wind up with a usable product. So let's remove the cover. I'm not sure if you can see, but the print is hanging off of the build plate. And yeah, in this case I've used a lot of supports, as you can hopefully see. What I then do after the printer has finished, if I have the time, I let it sit for a while so that the excess resin that might be still attached to my print can dribble off. After that, I'll also unscrew the build plate and angle it like so that some of the excess residue that's attached to the print can dribble off again. Now, why do I do this? Not only because I'm a cheap bastard and I don't want to waste resin. The more important reason for this is to not contaminate my cleaning liquid, the alcohol, too much, more than needed. So any resin that I can get rid of this way won't wind up in my cleaning bath, in my cleaning trough, right? That way it'll stay usable longer than otherwise. So after, well, there's a limit to this, of course. After you've done that, most of the excess resin should be gone from your print. And so you take your build plate and move to your first stage in your finishing process, which is this here. So I've got me a plastic tray with some paper towel. Okay, and here is the build plate with that, well, propeller. Is it a propeller? It's a print. Yeah. Okay, I've got me a toothbrush over here and a wire cutter to snip off the supports, right? And I've got me a bucket with alcohol, isopropyl alcohol. Isopropyl alcohol, propyl, whatever, you know, alcohol cleaning solution. So the first thing I'll try and do is remove our print from the build plate, and I simply don't know how difficult that'll be. By the way, don't you do this without gloves on. I've got me some silicone gloves to the resin isn't harmful for your skin, even though it's not pleasant to get on your skin. But if you get it on your hands and then put your hands on your face, in your eyes and such, that won't be good. So yeah, okay. We take the spatula, which came with the printer, and we, well, try to scrape off our print, and sometimes that'll definitely be harder than other times. Depends a bit on your print. and definitely the settings, whether you've added a raft to your print, which I have not, but in this case I was pretty secure in thinking that our print would be able to get off of the bed pretty easily. As you could tell, this wasn't super duper hard. Okay, and at this point you can reattach the print bed to your printer. This is also from Illegal, as you can tell. It's the Mercury Plus. Yeah, this is a two-stage affair, basically. It's a two-in-one. It's two devices in one. Yeah, might not look like it. It might look like a pretty simple device, but it's a cleaning station and a curing station in one. Very, very smart. I'll do a separate short show and tell about this thing, as it's something you don't really need for resin printing, but it's definitely something you probably want if you want to get into resin printing. Okay, so when I take off this here lid, I can then place a canister in it, or on it, like so. So this canister over here is also filled with isopropyl alcohol, right? And maybe you can see that there's a white thing at the bottom. Now that's magnetically actuated by this device actually. So that'll stir up your alcohol. Now this is my stage 2 cleaner. By this time there shouldn't be a whole lot of resin left on the print. So this alcohol should be usable for a good long time. And this canister came with the cleaning station, curing station, and it's very well sealable. Important, right? Otherwise this alcohol would evaporate. Okay, so we then take off that lid. Again, place the thing on there. And it also comes with this metal bucket in which we'll put our print. Hartstikke idee. Propeller is in the bucket and we'll hang it into that, into the alcohol. Then we replace the lid so it's well sealed. We switch it on. There's a power switch at the rear. Hartstikke idee. Okay, so again, this is a device that can do two things. So you can, or you have to choose what you want to do. In this case, I want to wash it. And then you'll have to set the time. In this case, I'll set it to 5 minutes. Yeah, and then start. Now you probably can't really see. Well, maybe you can. There's actually it's a whirlpool basically now. So that white thing at the bottom is definitely stirring up that liquid, that alcohol well and good. So that'll take 5 minutes. Hartstikke idee. And that's it. By the way, halfway down the 5 minutes, the stirring was actually reversed. So yeah, not sure if that's really needed, but it's, well, nice. Yeah, okay, so that's stage 2 in my cleaning process, an automated stage, and very easy, of course. So you then take off the lid again, lift your bucket with print out of the cleaning solution, in my case alcohol. And then I have me another tray over here, as you can tell. This is my clean stage tray. It's not the same tray as before. So yeah, this one should never get dirty, right? Not contaminate one print with the other. So now you take off this bucket and of course seal it again. This here disc you see with the 2 indents, that's actually the thing that spins. And it has magnets in it. And again, that was the part that stirred things up. But now I put this disc on that on this plate, which has 2 screws which will fall into those indents. It is also held in place magnetically. Then you go ahead and put your print on there, and maybe it's a good idea to angle it up a little. Is that possible? Let's try that. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is a great idea, but we'll try it. So then you put the lid back on. The UV light, the curing won't happen without the lid. In fact, if you take the lid off while it's curing, it'll instantly stop the curing process. Okay, so I switch modes to the lamp. You again set a time, and in this case it's a small and thin print. I'll do 3 minutes. Yeah, I'll do 3 minutes. Okay, here we go. And you know what, after 2 minutes I'll switch it around, even though it should cure just fine as is. And that's our entire curing process. Now, this again, like I mentioned, isn't really needed. You could do that with direct sunlight, UV light, right? However, that would take hours and hours and hours. Yeah. Also, the result won't be as good, probably, because in those hours, dust might settle on your print and get stuck to it. So a curing station and a washing station like this is definitely preferable if you want to get into resin printing. Yeah, so that's basically it. Now, maybe you want to do sanding or remove the last bits of support, for instance, or maybe even painting of your model. Depends on what you've printed, what kind of other steps you might want to take. But this is basically something you'll always want to do. You want to clean it and then cure your print. And in case you're wondering when is the curing done, well, your print, your object should look dull, not shiny anymore. When I put this into the curer, it was still shiny, and now it's a dull plastic. It'll also be a lot harder. It's not brittle, and if you cure it for too long, and I'm not sure yet what too long would be in a print like this, a small thin print, but let's say half an hour would definitely be too long. By that time the print would become brittle. It would become harder and harder, and at some stage brittle. So that's definitely not something you want to do, and it's also a little bit of a black art, something you'll have to see for yourself what works and what doesn't. In this case, a small, thin print like this, 5 minutes should be enough. And that's it. Yeah, let's not make the video longer than it should be. Hopefully this was informative to you. This is my finishing process of 3D printed objects out of resin. And if you're left with questions, don't hesitate to ask them in the comment section below. For now, I want to thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video. Bye bye.